We're Robin and Steve. As I edit this, we're in the middle of Cyclone Gabrielle. So if there's a bit of background noise, that's why. We're in Bay of Islands, Urupukapuka Island. We decided to go snorkeling. There were some weather warnings out, and it was sheltered where we were, and didn't stop the Bay of Islands regatta races. We're yet to identify a lot of these fish. There are a lot of these ones. We were so glad to get the snorkel in, because then the weather fell apart. Air pressure was quickly dropping, and the winds were ramping up. For us, it was just a nice chance to catch rain, unlike poor Auckland, who really got hammered. After the rain, there was a chance to do a few repairs. Some of our hatches needed resealing. The lazy jacks on our sailbag had gotten a bit of a beating in the Tasman crossing. Steve swapped them out. Next was trying to pin down why it was so sticky to change gears. Turned out it just needs a lot of force. I used the grippy stick to take random objects out of the bilge to prevent the pumps from blocking. And this was our last sunset on Urupukapuka Island before setting off. Soon the weather was going to deteriorate again, and we wanted to get to Whangaroa. We left before sunrise and made pretty good speed. We passed the Cavalli Island group and this gannet. We were heading to climb the famous Duke's Nose Rock, and I was beginning to see nose-shaped rocks everywhere. The entrance to Whangaroa Harbour can be current-rich and a bit hectic, but once inside, it's an excellent shelter. And we were to be thankful for that in less than 24 hours. In the meantime, though, we had noses to climb. We anchored a short paddle from the conservation hut, and from here the walking tracks begin. It's not a long walk, but there is a lot of up. This shot's cool, makes it look a little bit scarier than it actually was. Still, you wouldn't take just anyone on this walk. The view was incredible, and we could even see waterfalls. And they'd had a generous top-up from the recent rains. It was nice to have a bird's eye view of the forest. We were stoked to get this climb down and a kayak in, all before the rain and winds came. And in the calm before the storm, I even got some silks. For about 10 minutes. Then we kayaked upriver. And I went fishing for plastic. Steve took some leaf samples for tree identification purposes. And that would be our last kayak here. The weather got nasty. After the storm we moved on, but not in that direction. Whangaroa Harbour is big. We had more to explore. More plastic, this time waste from mussel farming. And some runaway cockpit furniture. After anchoring near Whangaroa, we took the walk to St Paul's Rock. The track starts with suburban back streets and then ends up on open grasslands. These waters were aqua when we arrived, but are now quite brown due to rain. These oyster farms look pretty cool from above. This chain-assisted rock scramble made us feel like we'd done something. It's actually not a very long walk, but my phone pedometer confirmed that it's many flaws. The weather was better. We moved on and Steve caught a kingfish. It's not so pretty here, but it was very tasty. We enjoyed a fried fish lunch as soon as we'd anchored at Motukawanui Island. Fueled with fish, we took a walk. The full track's quite long, but we did part of the track on this day, just to test it out after the heavy rains. Our test drive confirmed that the track was slippery, but good to go. The following day we'd do the whole track. After a beautiful afternoon walk, we checked out the Department of Conservation hut that's available to hire. It was empty on this day, so we enjoyed pottering around being the only humans on this beach and on this island. I found some firm sand to practice handstands. For me, this one's pretty good. To celebrate, I had a haircut. My friend showed me this way of cutting my hair, so that saves a trip to the hairdressers. There aren't many around here. Makeover complete, we could rest up for the full walk, which heads all the way to the northern tip of Motukawanui Island. On these islands we see quite a few stoat traps. Stoats are one of many pest mammals that need to be eradicated to restore the natural balance. On this humid, misty day, our track took us over ridge tops and through forested valleys. Once we'd climbed up and out of the forest, we could see our destination, which was a rugged coastline, fringed with spectacular islands. After a decent day of walking, we rested before setting off, and en route to the Bay of Islands, caught another fish, a skipjack. Generally not a favourite, but I can marinate it well to make it palatable. Being mindful not to bump into rocks, we made our way toward Kayaking. We anchored off Te Pahi Islands. For this episode I'll leave off here, but first I must apologise for some rock confusion in the last episode. I saw this rock with a hole in it and I got excited, but it's not the famous one. Join us next time as we see some excellent people and do some excellent things, including seeing a great big rock with a hole in it. We'll do a well overdue map recap, and then we'll get hit by this cyclone, which we're in as I edit.